Well, let's start with a bit of blistering pace. That's exactly what Navi showed us back on Overpass. So initially a 13-6 lead after their first half and the first 4 rounds of the second, but that still fell apart in a double overtime loss to Windigo on their map pick. Now Train Harry, Navi's chance for redemption, but as said, a reverse sweep needed. It's a long road to recovery.
It is a long road, and you know, if you're Navi, right, you've got to play for that third map. You don't have the ability just to take a convincing win here. They've got to grind their way back into this game. It will be Trade, map number 2, and this is underway. You can see the odds from Betway there, still throwing this one in favor of Navi, but they've certainly shrunk down a bit, quite a bit, from what they were earlier on. And I think justifiably so. Windigo, no strangers to the realms of Trade. It's a pretty decent map for them, with Poison looking good early on. That could yield some results, but Simple has made very quick work of the B defense. Not the DB fence. He gets brought down to just 1 HP in the process. The bomb plant going in toward A, and Edward rewarded just for pre-firing that little smoke peak position. Now leaves Victor and Bubble in the hot seat. 2v4, and they are completely surrounded.
Yeah, dealt with as well. I mean, looking back to that previous map, Harry, 40 kills dropped by Poison. Same story for Simple, also 40 kills. So we know who we're keeping our eyes on this game, and that opening double down towards B has certainly set that up.
Also, important to note, Navi, 3 and 3 for pistols now.
Yeah.
So keeping that going at least. Kind of makes that win from Windigo on the map prior that much more impressive when you take into account they never won a pistol. So,
or a force buy or anything of that nature, right?
It was just grinded out in the rifle rounds. That was their bread and butter, but they've gone for the force buy here on Train, and I like that, right? You get the scouts here. We've seen how versatile these scouts have been on this map at securing force buy round wins. And then to top it off, okay, maybe you go 3-0 down, but then you get to bring the AWPs out on Poison, maybe even move into a double AWP if you would like. We've seen that they've been more than willing to pick that up.
It is actually crazy to think Navi went 4-0 both halves. They got, I don't want to say 8 rounds for free because that really takes it away from them. Some of those were rifles, but going 4-0 both halves and still losing is a bit of a yikes, I think we could call it. Let's see if Navi can continue that trend, minus the losing as they dive into the B bomb site. It's going to be Poison forced off early, missed shot from that scout. Navi all over B right now. All 5 players actually committed, and Electronic getting deep as well. Zeus is dead to the scout of Poison. This is going to be the need to be the gun to really turn things around for Windigo if they want to win this second round. But the nade is there from Simple, dunking with a second as well. Rocker has found himself deep within the site, but caught by Flamey from the sidelines. Victor getting traded, and a nice clean-up kill, or round rather, for Navi. They will take a 2-0. Windigo sit with just pistols for the third.
Little Zeus gonna get bought out on ships. And there's a little Zeus on the other side of the equation too. But a man, not a gun, not a taser. Might look to incapacitate Windigo, similar to how a taser would. Simple, rocking just the USP. And I like this, you know, he gets the AWP out in the next round on the back of it.
This boost.
Little boosty boy throwing in. Simple will check it. They drop down into him, and Edward mowing that boost down. Ships just has this Zeus to work with. And actually, this could be pretty sick if he drops, but no, not long for this world. And that will be the third round for Navi. But now we get to see the buy on either side of the equation. And this is exciting. We have the AWP on Simple right away, ready to come through. We've got the AWP on Poison on the other side of things. So we don't have to wait long before we see the AWPs on either side of the equation go head to head.
Yeah, straight in with the first rifle, and that's what we like to see, especially considering these are the 2 players to watch out for in this series. Now, will Simple go for that opening fight through T-Con? Yet to see. It's going to be a no. It's Flamey instead, trying to take the initial bout. Simple in the meantime, he's outside the box calls with Edward, who is going aggressively, AWP supporting, and Edward gets tagged, trying to bail out of this one. He succeeds, but being hunted by ships gives Windigo the B upper control. Navi might just fall into a fast A take off the back of this lack of control. Setting up smokes, that certainly seems to be the case. Edward lining his up. But Navi do slow down. Electronic has found himself deep within Ivy, and it's being watched by Victor. But from back green, this gives Edward, if he, Electronic, if he really wants to, the chance to push through this smoke. But he'll just hold for the time being. It's a really powerful position to catch rotations, back between the site. Can get you a lot of info and maybe an early pick if Windigo do adjust their setup on this A site. Navi, in the meantime, will. They've rotated back through T-Con. Minute on the clock here. 4 players on A for Windigo, and Navi looking to walk right into it.
With Electronic getting so much real estate, you want Pincer in and deal with Victor. They still haven't spotted Bubble, but there's Simple to finally drop him. And one by one, Windigo getting picked apart here over towards the A portion of the map. Ships and Blocker remain, and they will get rid of Edward and actually drop the bomb. So now a very doable situation. How has this happened? What's just gone on? Blocker and Ships. They dig deep. They salvage that 2v5 from nowhere. I thought that was a done deal. I was not ready for that. I mean, I anticipated maybe we'd see the save come out from Windigo. They were locked out the bomb. So the bomb was going down. Navi had so much time to set up those crossfires and get into post plants. They get caught rotating into them. And Windigo able to put their first round on the board in a very unexpected way. Yeah,
not the 4-0 start for Navi that they wanted, and this AWP is still going to be remaining on both sides. Early nades inside of T-Con, although it goes both ways. Blocker gets tagged down to 50 early. Navi setting up outside of Popdog for the play. The Molotov's still there. Bubble going to move in. Does catch the legs. Edward on 2 HP. No HE grenades for Windigo to throw up Popdog or in through the windows. They could attempt a wall bang, but Edward just on the edge of a death. Bubble is still here. Zeus not ready for it. Walks into it. Gives away the AK, and the man advantage now locked in for Windigo. Plus the extra damage means that this is a very good round for them so far. Electronic won't be peering through the smoke that Poison holds with the AWP, so lucky for him. The Poison moving off and getting picked up. That opens up room for Electronic. The AWP going down on the A site, and Windigo with only actually 2 players here, one of them inside of the Popdog. Flamey has taken a bit of a move as well, down Olaf. Simple's up in main with the AWP. Not sure if that barrel's been spotted. Doesn't seem to be. Victor not aware. Edwards found the opening kill as well. Now this Ivy split coming through. This is very nice from Navi. They're deep within the bomb site and Windigo aren't ready, but we've seen this 2v4 already happen.
We certainly have, only this time they don't seem keen on it, right? You know that you beat the odds by overcoming Navi in the 2-on-4 in the round prior. You don't want to risk throwing it in again now, right? They've had so much time to get into this bomb site, to set up these crossfires. And Windigo, unlike last time where these 2 players were already inside of A, already out from connected, they don't have that luxury. So they do just give this round up. With Edward and Flamey solo, might have been a tantalizing prospect, but it will just be the safe play from Windigo.
Well, exit kills will come through. Edward, who is low earlier, got finished off, but Blocker dropped. So this save really isn't, a great one for Windigo. That's the reason it surprised me so much. I thought they would surely go for it with the damage they found onto some of these players, considering it's not like you could buy round 1 or 2 rifles here. They've got okay loss bonus, but this is still going to be a bit of a mess when it comes to the purchase here for Windigo. If anything, it would make more sense just to eco this and wait for that full loss bonus to kick in.
Yeah, I think if you'd saved 2 rifles, you could have scrounged a buy together.
But it would be scrounging,
It would. But you would have had 4 rifles up and a chance, right? This round, obviously, they've got nothing. So it will just be the flat eco, and you're relying on Ships to come up big with the AUG. 5-man stack initially from Windigo into the AU side of the map. Now rotating Bubble back toward B, but he won't spy anyone just yet.
I like this default from Navi as well. The way that they've been able to sneak players through Ivy, out in Olaf. Even though Popdog has been a point of contention, more so for the side of Windigo, Navi have still been able to find timings onto this A site and gaps in the defense to get very deep. Despite these quad setups, so Windigo continue to run. Now this AUG catches the timing to Electronic, falling off of that dumpster. It will not win the fight though. 2 HP separating Electronic from his death. His death, rather. Zeus with the bomb getting spotted, and Flamey will get killed coming out of Olaf. Now that bomb is rotated on the back of Electronic, but Zeus is committed to the Ivy play, and he's going to get caught by the pistol. This is not a round that Windigo should ever be winning, so Navi have got to be careful, and it's falling apart. One-on-ones being won by this CT side. Simple going to try and turn it around, and he is the one player with health to do it. 2 HP still on Electronic. Simple taking Blocker down from above. Victor's on the back of the site, and his gun did get spotted, so Simple can try and take this duel, and he'll win it as well. Bubble alone, and Windigo, they had a great start to this round, but the finish is not here yet. Bubble has just killed Simple, and Electronic so low. 1 bullet the difference, walking through the smoke, and he'll win it. Dear, oh dear, that is so close for Windigo. A fantastic eco round, but Navi will take it. 5 up on this T side, and huge heroics from Simple and Electronic to make that happen.
You still feel like it shouldn't have been anywhere near as close as it ever was, though. Here's that buy back on the cards from Windigo. The double AWP gets bought out now. A tactical pause from Navi. Not content with how that round transpired, and you very much understand why. Promising for the rest of this series as we still have Simple keeping up that great form. The double AWP, something they've had yet to run into on the Navi side of things, so maybe the change that Windigo needed.
I mean, that requires money, Harry. It's not exactly something they've been, covered in. This round will be different. Could even have the AWPs coming out 2 times for Windigo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
Would make some sense. And that
no, I said I'm pretty sure we saw it
Okay,
already.
I didn't.
So
I wasn't
one
looking,
step ahead, Hugo.
Ah.
You will be between its ships and Poison, as we come to expect. This leaves them a bit more limited in terms of the utility they can field in this round. And Flamey so fast out from main with 2 AWPs looking this way. Pretty ballsy, but he's got them by. And Windigo don't seem terribly aware of that possibility. Blocker holding close, spots Electronic on that peak. It was a bit of damage done onto Poison, but there's Simple opening up. He bests the AWP of ships over towards the B side of things, and that's going to force a rotation here from Windigo. They pull Poison off from this A-bomb site. Look at Blocker. Look at him go. He's all the way up through Ivy, but this could be some misinformation for Windigo.
Yeah, they're going to rotate towards B, assuming this is that play. And Navi will do as well. Poison, only player on this site right now, despite this full wrap round for Blocker. He needs another rotation. There it is. Victor now moving in just in time as Navi set up for the play. The flash up ramp is going to be perfectly timed, and Navi double dropping, both blind. Poison given a second chance, and he'll drop Edward. Victor trying to watch the Heaven play, but through the smoke, Electronic creeps. They could even back off here, but they do into Blocker. That flank coming up clutch with the AUG, dropping the bomb as well. Navi, they've been caught between the 2 sides of Windigo, and Flamey's looking to do the same. He's flanked up on the A site. If only they could get back to the Pop Dog, and then they could take A. Bubble's been killed. Flamey tries to double it. Victor does hold that B site, and the bomb is yet to be picked up. The rotate is yet to be called, and we still have this flank being held by Blocker.
And he's such a nuisance, only with 3 points of health to his name. Able to throw disarray into this round. Simple left in the 1v3, but with 10 seconds left, I don't think he even attempts this. He's not moving. He will just look to hold on to the AWP. But he might not get away with it. They seem pretty hungry to try and go for something. No, they decide against it. And I think, justifiably so if you're Windigo. You want to keep as much as you can into the future. We've seen how they like the double AWP purchase. You need to have money for that.
And 2 players on 10 HP there. Not the chase you would be favoured in at all. So definitely not a good call. A good call being made by Windigo not to go for it. And they pick it up. What a huge flank from Blocker down Ivy. Makes all the difference. Even though the rotation was late from Windigo, they just wanted the guarantee that that was going to come into that B site. And Navi, they're given an option to back off in towards A. If Flamey found a second kill, maybe they could have done it, but cut off by that AUG. And another buy round in for Windigo. Poison on the AWP. Simple looking again to open up this round as his teammates are left to just pistols. Very weak buy, and this is giving me flashbacks to Overpass, Harrier. A strong start for Navi, the money eventually getting broken with Simple saving a lot of rounds. And him running the solo AWP as Navi are down on pistols. This is where Windigo should be able to really get back into the game unless Simple can go lights out on this B-bomb site.
Yeah, Simple, a man who is no stranger to having to come up big in rounds just like this, though. He's got the AWP still salvaged forward from that round prior, so he will be a real threat here. Is allowed to clear the upper portion early. We'll call that there's no one here. So now the drop coming in, and Blocker's going to miss his opportunity to find the first few players, helped out now by Ships, and actually everyone dies. The B play completely annihilated, and this leaves Simple alone. And the wrap from Bubble. Never even going to come through. Ships just shooting up through the ladder. And a third round for Windigo.
And I imagine Ships even gets that AWP from Simple's body there, so the double AWP can continue here for Windigo. He is that AWP player, and yeah, he's going to get it. So now we have both Ships and Poison once again gracing our screens. And Navi still on an eco. A pause coming out for them as well. Their second already being used just 8 rounds into this map. They may have a lead on the T side right now, but they do have to remain aware that there's no fallback carry. This is the second map. Windigo took the first, so Navi aren't exactly sitting comfortable here. Every round matters. Every round makes a difference as they look to try and perform the full reverse sweep here on their pick of train, with Dust 2 on the horizon as that third and final map if we get to it. Still an if.
One thing I am loving is that every single one of these maps is a great map for AWPers, and we have 2 stellar AWPers in the server. So, big fan of that. You've even got the double AWP potential on either side of things as well. So that will make Dust 2 a real treat if we get there. It feels like we should get there, but, you know, if Windigo are able to surprise us yet again and surprise Navi, then maybe not. So, partial investment here, but already Simple plucked from the ranks of Navi. The fast aggression might catch Poison off guard, given some time to readjust here. Trying to exit in through that smoke, and he will get away. Zeus able to find him over in CT. Now does have the AWP to work with, but quickly throw it into the 1v4, and the timing, ooh, does just get around the corner in time.
Couldn't see Blocker up above, and that will be it. Windigo deal with the pistols, not too much of a worry. That another AWP does not get saved though, so we may either see a reinvestment or Ships have to drop us over to Poison. Not the end of the world though. These rounds are coming in clean for Windigo, keeping 3 players alive most of the time. And they're looking confident, smiles on their faces. This game is still close as they close the distance between them and Navi, who did take an early lead to this T side. Now, once again, solo AWP. It has been dropped back in the hands of Poison, who did fall on Ivy. Simple's on a Galil. Not what you want for Navi. This default again, but Windigo keep prodding and probing. Poison watching Ivy. He spots some presence. Close T-con position from Victor. And actually, Bubble's been picked up early. It's Simple to peek out from the pop dog, taking that kill to the A site.
Ooh, nice shot. Electronic shutting down Poison at the Ivy realm, and now Ship's going to try and answer back with some aggression outside of B. He'll quickly get punished for it. That's that B bomb site now cracked wide open and ripe for the taking. Navi looking to move on in, and they've even got the wrap round from Electronic. And Zeus, should they choose it. Now, Electronic dropped. Zeus picking up this AWP. Might instead focus on looking for the save here. He'll float around for a bit and hold for any aggression. Victor dropped, and now Blocker remains. He would love to hold on to the AUG into the following round, but Navi will slowly spread out and look to hunt down the last man on the Windigo side of things.
And the way that Navi have done this as well is they cleared out the entirety of the B bomb site. They are leaving the bomb, but they've cut off every route into this site. Pushing CT connector and B hall, so the Blocker cannot get in towards B unless he was already there, which of course they know he wasn't. Simple going to be the only point of contact really here if he does commit to this A side play. Coming in below, climbing the ladder is Simple, is he? No, he just sits down at the bottom and Blocker gets one. Maybe not ready for Simple here, and the kill does come through. There's the trade. No save for Windigo. That's a big kill for Navi on the exit, whittling away at the economy of the Bulgarians here. And despite being limited on just to Galil, Simple opens up the round, gets an AUG for the save, and Navi will pick it up. 6-4 here, and more orbs. As is the nature of this matchup, Simple versus Poison. He's going for the fast T-Con pick as well. Electronic tries to get out onto A. Simple watching that Olaf peek. Poison's down Ivy with blocker. 2 players here in front of the Molotov, and Zeus, he's going to be dealt with a bit of a surprise around this corner.
And it was in the same setup like this where we saw Blocker eventually look to take that Ivy aggression in the first round that we saw Windigo pick on up. Or one of them at least. So maybe attempting that once again. Flash gonna rain in, falls behind Blocker. His job there is to try and deal with that exact play, but he will get bested, and now this leaves Poison here alone. Not the first time they've encountered this double setup down in Ivy, so Navi will just smoke Poison off. He's actually gonna go round it.
Back in for another. Zeus has been picked up. One of the 2 Ivy players here, and Windigo still aggressive up on A. Look at this position. Down Olaf, Victor and Bubble. They can hear info on rotating T's through the top halls as well. They're going to hear this from Flamey, who is running. That might call for a rotate, and you can see now Ships backing off within the B bomb site, knowing this is going to be a B play. Considering he's alone, he wants to play for retake and try and set up in the 4-on-4 post plant. Poison carrying for this late Ivy wrap because there was a player there earlier, but Navi won't be going for it. They're 25 seconds away from a bomb plant, and all 4 players hitting this B bomb site. Ships only man committed. Edward almost catches him, but Ships catching him in air. Flamey does get the trade. Bomb going down now for Navi. Time for it. Bubbles on this pop flank, but Electronic has just caught the timing to watch it. Bubbles dead, and Victor, he's going for the save once again here for Windigo. Navi, a very nice T-side round. They put pressure early on the A site, and despite Windigo having what seemingly looked like the information towards T-Con, Ships only able to get 1 on B, and Navi running wild with a 7th on this T-side. They won't be able to take down Victor, so it will be 1 gun saved, but looking at the money here of Windigo, it's not exactly pretty.
No, certainly not. Considering Navi are over on the T side of things, right, a 7-4 scoreline is already pretty monstrous from them. And, you know, with the money, as you just pointed out, not being great for Windigo, it really only stands to grow over in the Navi side of things. So they are looking to right their wrongs from Overpass, and off to a much better start here on their T side of train, the flat eco from Windigo, but we've seen them get these rounds at least down to the wire. Nade gets thrown into main early, but it's not going to find much damage. Flamey's already up and past it. Timing not quite there for him though, just looks away. Does still manage to get off a lot of damage onto Victor, but Ships tapping down Simple. These weapons getting retrieved. The B bomb site might be overran, but the problem is you get the B bomb site, but you don't have the bomb. That's dropped right now back towards T main, and Electronic has to retrieve it. Edward dropping 1 man inside of B. Ships goes down, and Edward's going to follow up with a double. Zeus and Edward both brought down very low, though, and Electronic still a long way from this B bomb site. Might decide to try and hit A, while so many players have been called by Zeus. Thing is, as he backs off, that's now another rifle that can be retrieved for Windigo inside of B. Electronic has to find this kill onto the man in the bomb site, and he will. Baby steps, but slowly Navi are recovering this one. Victor and Bubble left on the other side of things. Just a deeg for Bubble, and Victor already brought down a 7 HP by Flamey. Not the easiest 2-on-2, but certainly not impossible.
Yeah, this double setup though, watching the smoke is Electronic, and Victor's got to go through it. He's so low, 1 bullet will separate him from death. And through Zeus, still getting the kill. Zeus on 2 HP, lucky to be alive as Bubble taps the bomb. You've got to peek it just to check it's not a full defuse. It is a fake. Bubble tapping on it again. Electronic not going to fall for the bait though. Will just hold his own as Bubble takes the AWP and exits towards a B site. Bomb might kill him, and it will. So no orb saved, and Navi will win that round. But Harry, considering it was 4 USPs, or 4 pistols rather, and 1 saved AUG, that's a damn good round for Windigo. It means that at least if they win a rifle round in the follow-up, they can capitalize off the economical damage they just found and try and break Navi's money. But this is still a damn good T-side for Navi, up to 8 now on a very CT-sided map.
Yeah, one of the things Windigo haven't quite been able to deal with yet are these fast players getting out into Olaf. That round there, admittedly, they do kill Flamey, right? And they do manage to follow up on a simple. But the fact that Navi have been able to get that consistent foothold out from main in almost every single one of these rounds has been a bit of a problem. And you think about Windigo's setup down towards Ivy, the fact that they've been dedicating 2 players there, and we've really only seen it yield too many results in one of these rounds thus far. I think a lot of the reason for that is coming off the back of early on. Navi, if you recall, was showing a lot of aggression down towards the Ivy portion of the map. They kept on getting Electronic into these situations where he could look to wrap into the A bomb site. And so Windigo looking a bit scared of the Ivy position. This round, they only put Blocker here on his lonesome. This frees up the rest of the players to try and push up and deal with the threat that lurks at main. Victor spotted, but the shot missed by Simple. He'll be given another shot at life. Not every day you get one of them when Simple's on the other side.
You can see Navi are trying to force Windigo out of these aggressive positions. Early Molotovs on Ivy from Electronic kept these CTs back from pushing. Same story from Zeus down in the Pop Dog, trying to deny Windigo in these aggro CT angles. Issue is they've lost a player down on B ramp. Poison winning that with the AWP, and still Navi coming down towards Ivy. 3 players here, the bomb and the A side split looking to come through. The issue is Zeus as well. He can't come through the Pop Dog because there's still a man in there, but luckily Blocker's found 2, shutting down this Ivy play. That will draw the Pop Dog player out for a second, but Bubble goes right back in as Zeus drops. Big kill from Zeus, but 3 HP left from him puts Navi in this very uncomfortable 2-on-2.
Yeah, just 15 points of health spread very thinly between Zeus and Electronic. The shots have to be pristine.
Oh.
And there's one of them. Poison, will he be ready for Electronic? He is not, completely blindsided by the man over in Ivy, and that will be another round for Navi. They managed to scrape by despite the heavy disadvantage that was going their way. My word, a 9th round now for the Navi side of things. And Windigo scraping a partial investment together.
And this is the polar opposite of Overpass, where things were very close, very comfortable for Windigo to some sense, right? They were in this similar situation back on the previous map, and they force bought on this round to try and set them up for, you know, what would have been a 9-6. And now they're going to eco Harry, more so accepting of the potential 10-5 that Navi could be giving them. Electronic, huge opening kill down on Ivy. Blocker's still here. Did they spot him? Yes, they did. Electronic can double it. Zeus as well joins the party. And this is just a counter of kills being added for the Navi side. Poison and Ships left alone. And you're really getting desperate here if you're Windigo. Looking like a 10th round for Navi in this one. Yet to lose a player. Ships will finally change that, but it's not going to have any grave impact in terms of economy. He backs off through the connector, goes for the full CT rotate round, but Navi have already got players deep in Old Bomb. Zeus is hunting for this final kill. And once he finds it, Navi looking to take double digits in this first half. Ships does spot it, but the CZ not great at this kind of angle, and Zeus is going to be able to take him down. So there it is, 10 rounds for Navi, 1 round left for the half. Money to buy for Windigo, but at best a 5-round CT side is not exactly how they hoped Train would go.
Especially after such a dominant half back on Overpass on their CT side of things. You were really expecting, well, I don't know, it feels weird, right, to say you were expecting more from Windigo. I feel like it's only because they set the benchmark so high on that first map.
But you do have to remember how close it was and how it's their map pick. And, you know, as said, you know, Navi have been traveling, they've been doing a lot of events. Windigo have had more time to practice and prepare for this specific matchup, I'm sure. But hard old dose of reality, Harry, and it is looking delicious for Navi, although not in this round, who they do lose a player early on outside B Hall. Ships getting a chance to back off. Zeus will trade it, though. Ready for the upper peak, but the smoke denies that. Windigo now back into a 4-on-4, and Navi looking to take the A site.
Bubble over at the E-box is still an unknown factor here for Navi. They haven't spotted him yet. Simple has gotten up close and into the sandwich. He's going to try and deal with the players inside of the site, but Victor head on a swivel, and in the blink of an eye, somehow, some way, Windigo win that round out. The kills coming through in a matter of seconds, and they will salvage a 5th. Navi still with 10 to their name and now moving into their CT side of this map. They're looking to try and take us through to Dust 2. And it's looking good for that to happen. We wanted this to be a 3-map series, Hugo, and it seems like we might get it. Join us after the break to find out if we head to Dust 2 or if Windigo somehow pull this one back. Map 2 and a 10-5 scoreline for Navi. They are looking poised to carry this through to a third map and get us there, Hugo.
Yeah, and it's certainly looking good for them. 10 rounds on the T side for Navi on train, of course. That's a damn good T side. For those unaware, obviously fairly CT-sided map. On Navi's map pick, you would expect them to be running away with this somewhat. And maybe hoping for it after the way the overpass went. If you did miss that, that was a double overtime. Windigo just securing the victory by the skin of their teeth, but a victory is a victory. Navi look to bounce back with one of their own. It's a kit on Zeus, a nade as well. Not a smoke for that potential Molotov, and there is one on Bubble, but not looking like Windigo going towards B anytime soon. They crawl up Ivy, double setup here for Navi. Electronic instantly dinked and Edward removed. What a start for Windigo.
Yeah, Flamey now tries to take up this this forward position at the Ivy area of the map. Will they manage to get away with it though? They've actually backed off for the time being. So perhaps a bit of a thank you extended from Navi as they fall back into this 4-man B-side setup. They completely give up A. They're playing for the retake. They've stacked all their players in the B bomb site. And Windigo might just walk into it.
Yes, it's a gamble you got to run when you're a man down and 10 HP on electronic. What a gamble, what a call. Zeus ready with a nade as well. That's going to do a lot of damage to these players coming down ramp. The flash is there, so's the nade. Do they get ahead of it? Yes, but Poison gets tagged. Simple won't get checked. That's a free kill. Can he double it? Can he find any more? No. Jumping players offsets his aim, and now it's just one man, but Ships will rid him of his life. 3 kills for him, and 6 rounds for Windigo. That's a start here on the T side, trying to get back into this map. 5 rounds on the CT side did not seem enough, Harry. But taking the pistol can propel them forward in half number 2. It's Navi looking to force buy to keep this game close, and with Simple on the scout and 4 pistols behind it, this is Train. These rounds are very much winnable, so Windigo can't get ahead of themselves, thinking they have the conversion.
Oh, that scout from Simple, get a rain out already. Molotov to try and trap a Pop Dog player down in this position, so likely we see Windigo try and challenge for it, although actually going to elect to give this portion of the map up, looking like they might just go for the A side play. That smoke will fall down for CT and try to facilitate this cross. Flamey looks to peek through that Molotov, and that's a decision he might come to regret. They have to clear main though. Electronic is already here, already posted up. They will flush him out as well. Simple now stood alone towards main. Trapped in here, but Edward taps down 2 with the CZ. Zeus will get dealt with, and this leaves Edward alone. Couple of nice shots rinning out from him, but he's got a lot more left to do.
Yeah, and with this gun as well, not exactly the best retake weapon in a 1-on-3 versus 2 AKs. Poison on a 3-piece already, looking to make as much money as he can for the early AWP investment for Windigo, and I think they may just have it. 7 rounds on the horizon, unless Edward can find anything, but he's just looking for exits. Seeing if Windigo give up a kill here. But they are not looking to do so. Full save from these 3 players down Ivy, staying grouped, keeping the economy, which is, of course, extremely important. Not wanting Navi to win one rifle round and immediately break their bank. Edward will grab a Galil on the exit, knowing there are no players within the site that late into the round. So 2-0 on this second half for Windigo, but Navi do have 1 more eco before they have rifles.
So now the question becomes, how much can Edward get away with this saved weapon? He's going to be sat with it towards the A side of the map right now. The rest of Navi, just with these pistols, the 2 players grouped up close to the ramp. There is a Zeus on Zeus. Zeusception. And I would love for him to get a kill with it, just to complete the metaphor.
The Zeusning.
The Zeusening. I like that. Twice the Zeus.
He gets it.
Double the power. He shuts down Blocker. But that should be it. That should be all said and done. Simple does get 1 more. Edward now arriving, but with just Flamey remaining, a 1v3 required. The aim punch there too much as he tries to transfer over. Zeus is happy anyway.
Yeah, he got his Zeus kill. He got what he wanted. Of course, you don't get money from that. You only hurt the bank of Windigo. A rifle taken away, and yeah, that's something. 10-8 though. Here's what we've been waiting for, Harry. Is the buy around for Navi now on this CT side. AWP for Simple. Same story for Poison. He's pulled it up. Let's see what they can do with it. Only 1 per side. Simple, he's going down on Ivy. Poison attempting the T-Con pick. Almost hits the wallbang there. Not wanting to fight outwardly, knowing that Navi might throw early utility his way. Windigo crouching behind potential wallbangs, but Navi won't be throwing them in. Windigo do have control towards the box halls and will be looking to set up for this B play. 5 players here. This is very committed early on. Nade missed from Poison, does get out the second time, and a Molotov to deny Navi any close pop-dog presence. That, of course, can cut down a flank as well. But Navi are looking to flank elsewhere, pushing in through T-Con, trying to be a little more decisive. Simple could even rotate off the back of this info as well and get into the B site early on. Windigo certainly looking like they want to go for this immediate execute. Just waiting the smokes out from Navi.
Blocker able to open up. Simple in with that return. Poison. Missed shot onto Simple. Would have loved to have kept the man advantage in favor of Windigo. And Simple's being a real nuisance, as is Zeus.
Oh,
ooh, that's a rip.
That's a 1G, Harry. Uh-oh. Blocker running through his own Molotov, and Navi will be able to close out the round off the back of it. Big kills from the likes of Simple and Zeus, and maybe starting to warm up into the CT side now that we actually have guns in their hands. 11-8. But it was a 13-6 at one point back on Overpass, and they still lost it, so it's not out the woods yet for Navi.
No, not by any stretch of the imagination. And Hugo, don't worry. You know, I'm just going to be honest. I had a little throat sweet in for the duration of like the last 2 rounds, but I've chewed it up. You know, I decided I can't cast like this. It was very unpleasant. I had to do it.
I can smell it.
Yeah,
Breath is very medical, Harry.
Yeah, very medical, very clinical. And that's what Navi have to be if they want to stay alive in this series.
Except not healing their enemies, only killing them.
The bad doctors of CSGO setting up outside of the B bomb site are Windigo, but already Zeus has made his presence known as he shuts down the ramp man himself. Blocker gone. Oh, that nade gonna find some good damage.
Nice.
Ooh, they are hurt by it. Their egos might be a little bit damned as well, but they actually do manage to brush Zeus off from the top of the train, so not going to get to see any mowdown from him anytime soon. Victor holding close. Poison deleting Electronic through that smoke. Man advantage now taken for the side of Windigo. They get into the bomb site. They've got the bomb down, but Simple trying to sneak behind enemy lines. He'll get bested as well, and Edward left in the 1v3 might just consider saving Windigo. Poised to pick up a 9th round.
That play could have been great from Simple if supported from Navi throughout the connector, but the issue was not only did they lose a man through the smoke, but the re-smoke going down in connector denied Edward, etc., the vision to upper. So, oh, nice shot. So ships above, he was able to take down Simple on the aggressive oil flank. And now Edward trying to hold on to this gun. He's being hounded to the ends of the earth. Won't be able to get away with it, but still around for Windigo. 9 here on the T side, 4 so far in this second half to only the 1 of Navi. It's looking good for the Bulgarians, but a lot of that off the back of the pistol and the conversions. That's the first rifle round they've actually won. But maybe the first of many here, Harry, because Navi don't exactly have a huge amount of cash to fall back on. It will be the buy here, AWP for Simple, but after this, they're going to be left with nothing. Flamey does double AWP. Simple going aggressive towards B early on, looking to try and find this fast pick for Navi, but in the 1 round, the Windigo default back towards A with only Blocker here. Simple's not going to get given the opportunity.
Problem further magnified by the fact that he gets flashed off the angle, so now he doesn't know how many players have gotten across for Windigo. Only Blocker here right now. That bomb now lying in wait above Pop Dog really does leave this round open to interpretation as to where Windigo want to end up. Zeus holding close, and he'll need a flashbang if he wants to find anything from this. Instead, Blocker takes the head-to-head. Now Flamey will delete 1 man. Simple in with 2. Finally silenced by Poison. We get to see them go head-to-head once again, and Poison wins it. Bubble on this wrap round. And this deadly duo of Poison and Bubble had been good for so many 2vx scenarios back on Overpass. They've got to deliver it once again, but the wrap from Edward goes undetected. Bubble, who might have just made something possible here. Now down to the 1v1 and just Electronic left to deal with. He doesn't know where he is. He spots him at the ramp, and Bubble He's going to burst Navi's bubble there. A 10th round for Windigo. The 1v3 from Bubble? My word.
And he had no idea where their electronic was. You could see he was watching his backline, checking CT, looking at the A site.
It almost didn't even seem like he was aware he killed him on that peak. Like, he peeks into it, fires two bullets, and then, like, knife out, goes to... And then it's like, oh, never mind. We're good. We're good. We've done it.
Unreal. What a round for Windigo to pick up as well. That was Navi on the edge of an economical crisis, Harry. Now they're going to be experiencing it. And this will be the equalization. Navi can't buy here unless they force. This should be Windigo finding their 11th off the back of that rifle round. And that was all in the camp of Navi. The bomb was dropped on upper, the double flank coming out towards that B bomb site. But the late con split from Bubble. 3 kills from it. And, you know, not exactly been topping the charts here in this series, but what a huge round for him. That's going to come back to hurt Navi. Brief insight into their comms.
Yeah? What did you make of that?
Yes.
Yeah? That's what they said. Okay, okay.
My Bulgarian is rusty, Harry.
Yeah? Haven't had to use that one in a while, no? Well, maybe you will if Windigo continue on this rise. Just 1 round away from tying this up, which almost seemed like an undoable task just a few rounds ago. It was a 10-5 half in favor of Navi. Since then, they've managed 1 round. I'm getting flashbacks to Overpass and Ships shutting down the first man. It is just the partial investment from Navi here, and Windigo making quick work of it, not letting these pistols build anything in this round. It's just Windigo tearing them down. The tag doesn't come through on a Zeus, so I don't think they know he's here just yet, but Victor will check it and win his fight. So Windigo tying this up now, 11-11. What is going on in this series? I have no idea. Windigo going above and beyond our expectations in this matchup. Navi, things were looking good. They got a 10-round T-side on paper. That's phenomenal. But Hugo, paper is meaningless if you can't replicate those results in the server.
Yeah, and it seems like Windigo brought the shredder to the table, Harry. Navi getting put into little pieces here. Simple's back on the AWP. Poison going for the pick. Starting to find confidence into this second half. And that spells worrying signs for Navi, or the great utility usage from the CT side. Does put him down low. Simple's got to run back through the Molotov. Victor gets afforded some room down towards B with a flashbang. The nade to follow. Simple misses the shot. Nade almost kills him. He gets around the corner. Fakes the drop with the scope as well to cover the noise. Does Victor know? Is he aware? Simple scoped in on the angle, just waiting for this peak. The thing is, of course, the Simple being here and Windigo knowing they can try and test that A bomb site, knowing that there's no AWP down Ivy, at least for now. Flamey bought a FAMAS in that previous round for Navi while everyone else ecoed, so he's down on a UMP, no AWP for him to play with. And Simple, he's had enough of this. He's getting aggressive. He's looking to drag this kill forward. Should be able to get it. And there it is. Victor's dead. Man advantage taken for Navi in this round. And Simple will just bail.
Yeah, it's not all too often that Navi are able to grab this man advantage and have it go untraded. So they're relishing in the opportunity to have that in this round. Ships drawing the attention back towards this A side of things, does make his presence known in the Ivy portion. The rest of the squad still waiting outside of B, so this will be where the play looks to end up with just 20 seconds left. It's got to come through soon, and the flank from Ships doesn't yield any results. He'll ship the bed. And now, Zeus holding for the cross. Smoke going to force Zeus out of position. The bomb does cross into the bomb site at the very least, so they will get it down. And Blocker is on a monstrous wraparound from behind. They have to clear him. They do anticipate it. The timing couldn't be worse for Blocker. And this leaves Bubble alone. He'll get silenced. And Navi finally able to secure another round. They pick up a 12th, and they will maintain this lead. Yeah,
big plays from Simple Electronic again. The entire 5-man roster taken down by just 2 of the CT side. All too familiar territory here for Navi. But around is around, and they are 4 away from taking their map pick. The issue is Windigo hounding on their heels with a very strong T-side so far, trying to replicate that of Navi's. But still, close as anything, and economy on the tipping point. You need clean rounds here if you're Navi, and that at least was one. 4 players surviving at the end of the day. Windigo do get their bomb plant, so a bit of extra residual cash built up by that. Tactical pause running to a close, and we're getting back into things here. I don't imagine Navi have more than one, if that, tactical pause left. They used a lot in the early stages of this map to initially get their dominant T side. Windigo doing their best to replicate it here.
This time though, Poison's been thrown up into the boost to keep an eye down through Olaf. Victor from the bottom of the boost, spraying through the smoke, takes the man advantage. Electronic's gone. And now Zeus trying his hand at the aggression. Ships is holding for it, but won't get rewarded. Re-peeking from Blocker, but Zeus getting away with so much damage. Just 1 HP left on the lone man outside of this B-Rap.
He fakes the rotate as well. He walks away while reloading, and then goes back in towards B. So the player in Pop Dog just heard someone he thinks leaving B, and that's why Navi have triple stacked this A bomb site. They might decide to rotate Simple in, but he's just gone for the boost inside the connector. So Windigo have completely baited Navi here into rotating on the wrong side of the map. This is a perfect round now for Windigo, who, yes, have low players, but have a free bomb site.
They've just got to believe in the fake that they've sold. If they take this site down, they do get it for free, but Edward is beginning his rotation, as is Flamey. So they're going to get in just a couple of seconds too late is Edward. He tries to peek it, but Blockers shut him down, and now this leaves Simple all alone. 1v4, and he's running for the hills. He's giving this one up. Windigo back in with a 12th. As Simple desperate to try and save. If he gets away with the AWP, they still buy up into this next round. Windigo are hunting. Simple will have heard that sound cue from up above. Knows that there's a man nearby, and it's Blocker with the AWP here to try and challenge. Not something you want to be giving up if you are Windigo, but he bests Simple in the head-to-head. They tie it up. They drop the AWP. One can still be purchased up here and dropped forward by Flamey, so they do still have a full buy behind it.
Bogdan's Law saving a Windigo there as well. 1 HP on Blocker after that trade from Zeus, but he gets 2 kills with the AWP and gets rid of the saving AWP for Simple. 12-12 now. This game is getting really close. And Navi's money is about to be broken if Windigo can win a follow-up round. It's certainly looking to be the case, Harry. 2 rounds on the CT side of Navi. And we're 15 in, or 10 in rather. This is worrying, to say the very least. Edward tries to get aggressive. Victor's on the other side of T-Con. Electronic is above as well, so Edward can't afford to clear these close angles while Electronic watches his right side, although moves away at the same time. Edward has found himself in this position, and the fact that Navi have used no flashbangs or utility to get into here it means it's not going to be telegraphed. Victor might check this corner, but with Electronic taking the first fight from this brown train, it could certainly bait Victor into thinking that the rest of A main is clear. That couldn't be further from the truth. Execute coming through, and now they're going to go. Victor not checking the corner. Electronic finds that first contact, and the bomb's been dropped. Edward takes himself a second kill, and Electronic's come in as well. This tag team duo is locking down the bomb site. Windigo, 1 man left up in the Pop Dog. Navi surely can read it, and he is just screwed.
Tries to fake heading back up through the ladder. I mean, even if they had fell for that on the side of Navi, is it going to matter? He gets brought down to just 42 points of health. And yeah, for Ships, he's not long for this world.
I mean, Navi don't even need to chase as well. Their money isn't great, so they'll probably just leave Ships to hold on to this AK unless he walks into this B bomb site. 10 seconds left and looking to just get any economical damage he can, but that Ships has sailed. 13-12 here for Navi. They take the lead back once again, Harry, but it's just so close, and with their economy on the tipping point as well, that 5 players surviving will make all the difference for Navi's cash. Ooh.
And Windigo actually deciding to take the force by here. Now that is ballsy to say the very least. Staring down the barrel of giving up map point if you lose this round and then eco in the next. It is a risky situation if you're Windigo. And on the back of it, you imagine they've got to have a trick up their sleeve. They've got to have an ace in the hole.
If you don't get a bomb plant here at the very least, Navi get 14 rounds and you have absolutely nothing to play with. So this is a really big dick play from Windigo. This is unreal. And Navi may not expect it, but that might not matter.
Well, fast B play, order of the day with the force buy, and Zeus is here to send them packing. Already with 2, flash down from the ramp, but Electronic finding himself another, and they are getting shut down. The force buy has been derailed.
Yeah, Navi had 4 players on that B-bomb site when the first man walked out ramp. So you're kind of walking into a bit of stack. A round like that is quite readable, and the issue is that Navi, they definitely wouldn't have expected the force. They would have expected an eco. But where do you go with an eco on this map? You go B every time. So yeah, Navi were already poised and ready for that push. And into the meat grinder, Windigo go. Left with 1900 loss bonus and some spare change. 14 rounds to Navi. Windigo have to play for overtime, but at least they've got a close T side to do so. Zeus spotting for the B plate. Let's get that info. They're going to actually just charge at him. No time for the nades, but won't matter with the ace. Almost 4 from Zeus. Victor's grabbed himself a gun, and he might be able to get a bomb plant. That would be huge, but they might have utility to stop him instead. Simple just going to run right in. Too late to the party, but he took all the presents and he's run. Defuse has come through. 15 rounds for Navi, 1 away from taking the victory on their map pick here and bringing us to Dust 2 as a 3rd and final for this series. But Windigo, if they've shown us anything, it's not to underestimate them. They need 3 T-side rifle rounds to keep this game on in another overtime, and I can't say that I don't believe it's a possibility.
Well, let's see, will Navi right their wrongs, take the win here and lock in a Dust 2 as that 3rd map, or is this going to be another overtime game? Simple does not want to wait to find out. He goes aggressive towards main, spots a player on the cross, and that's him falling back. Aggressive stance in Pop Dog this round from Navi. Not really a place we've seen them put too much attention. Bubble straight through these defensive smokes, but into the maws of the beast they go. Blocker and Poison remain, but these two have always been so good in the 2vx scenarios. He loses Poison and Blocker falling shortly afterwards. Navi, they will pick up the win here on Train as they lock in that 16th round. They also lock in a 3rd map as they try and take this series now over Windigo. Map number 3, obviously it all culminates on Dust 2. And the question becomes, who will take this one? It's been a strong game from either side, and the great decider is the most neutral of them all. We need to see all these players continue their great form. They've been grinding hard to get here. We will have our answers answered. We will have our questions answered, there we go, after the break.